Ladies and gentlemen, we finally got some real life on the field football to talk about. First time since we started doing this channel back in late January, and I'm so excited to break down all the news and notes you need to know about the second day of Packers OTAs. Before we kick into any of that, though, here's a little bit of a reminder of what the schedule looks like, okay? What this week is going to look like, and then what the future for this offseason will look like. We are the last day of OTAs in this first little stint, then back on the 30th, June 2nd through 3rd, then back on the 5th. June 10th through 12th is mandatory minicamp, and then July 23rd, they announced this morning, will be the beginning of training camp. They don't know when it will end yet, but we know July 23rd is when it all starts. Speaking of when it all starts, this is when it all starts for you guys right here on the Packers Report. If you're not already subscribed, okay? Today is the perfect day to do so. Right now is the perfect time to do so because we're trying to get another milestone, 6,000 subscribers. We've been growing like wildfire over the past 4 months, and it's because of you guys helping us out. I need 60 other die-hard loyal cheeseheads to do the same by hitting that big red free sub button. Only 60 subs away from 6,000 subscribers. Let's get it by the end of today. Let's start with the Packers news items. News items. Number one, Jaire Alexander was not present at day 2 of OTAs. And honestly, I'll be real with you. This doesn't necessarily surprise me after everything that happened yesterday. And if you don't know, he got offered a restructured contract yesterday. And it was the first time that anything official had been offered to him through the entirety of the offseason. This is obviously just a leverage play, okay? This is something that I think every single one of us would be doing as well. You get offered a contract. If you show up the next day to practice, that's voluntary, I think you lose a little bit of that leverage. So it was probably his agent in his ear saying, hey, I know you probably want to go today, but don't. You'll lose a little bit of that power. Now, I will remind you, coming out from Matt Schneidman yesterday, who's the one who broke the news about the restructured contract being offered, said the two-time All-Pro plans to report to Lambeau Field for mandatory minicamp even without a contract extension. Okay, so sure, he wasn't at voluntary OTAs. We all kind of saw this coming, especially how the last couple of months have gone. But Schneidman reported yesterday that no matter if he has a new contract or not, he will be there for mandatory minicamp. So how does that affect everybody else? Well, this is from Matt Schneidman as well. Lineup notes from the first 11 on 11. Nixon and Hobbs are on the outside in base. Now Hobbs is on the inside and Valentine on the outside in nickel. We all knew that Nate Hobbs is probably better in the nickel, probably better in that slot role on that inside. And so Valentine came in, was on the outside, Keyshawn Nixon and Hobbs. Obviously, this all gets switched up if and when Jaire Alexander is in the lineup. But as of right now, as of today, he wasn't. He wasn't there for OTAs. I don't know how that's going to be for the rest of OTAs, but I would probably assume he doesn't show up until mandatory minicamp. What do you guys think? Let me know. When will Alexander and Green Bay agree on a contract? Comment your answer down below. Do you think it's going to be in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, maybe next couple of months? Let me know your answer. News item number 2, Elgton Jenkins was not present. Jaire was not the only one because the left guard turned center, who's been, making some news items, some headlines of his own, we should say, over the past couple weeks, was not at OTAs. And this was one we saw coming as well. Right? If you're any sort of locked in on the Green Bay Packers over this offseason, you probably knew that Elgton Jenkins wasn't going to be there because of what he wants. He wants a little bit more of that money, wants a little more years onto his deal because right now he only has 2 years left. $42 million total, $21 million average, 0 guaranteed money left. And he knows that if he plays this next year, there's a good chance that next season, like the year after this one, he might become a cut candidate. And that's why I feel like him not showing up, him wanting a new contract, it's not necessarily about the money because with the move to center, he's now being paid as like the 3rd highest center in the National Football League. It's about value and it's about security, okay? He's already making that much money. He doesn't want to take a massive pay cut to play a different position. And also he wants the security that he's going to have a job. He's going to be with this franchise for the next, couple of years. And because of him not being there, this is kind of how the offensive line looked at the first team offensive line, working with Jordan Love during individual drills. And it kind of shifted around when they were doing 11 on 11. But Rasheed Walker, of course, you had Aaron Banks, the newly acquired left guard out of San Francisco. And then you had Sean Ryan at center, Monken at the right guard, and then Tom in at the right tackle position. Elgton comes in. He's probably going to take over that center spot. And the reason that, Monk is in that right guard, not Jordan Walker, is because he was working over on the side at the left tackle 2 spot. Alrighty, my third news item to talk about, Christian Watson was stretching and jogging. This one was exciting to me, okay? You can see him right there. I circled him in red so you don't get to miss him. Didn't look like there's necessarily a brace on. He didn't do much more than this, but it's nice to see he was in line with the teammates, doing the stretches, doing the jogs. I think it's fair to look at this situation and look at his situation over the last couple of years and everything that's happened with him, especially what happened in January with the torn ACL. It's great to look at that, and it's fair to look at that and take it as a positive. Okay? It only means he's probably trending in the right direction. Now, I'm not going to overreact and say, wow, he may be ready to go week 1. That's not realistic, but man, he's stretching, he's jogging, day 1 of OTAs, day 2 of OTAs. It's great, and it's fair to be excited about that. It's been an up and down career for Mr. Christian Watson because of the injuries that have so desperately followed him over the past couple of seasons, right? Rookie year, knee tear, pulled hamstring, concussion, all 3 of those happened. And then in 2023, missed 8 games with 2 different hamstring strains. And then last year, ankle sprain, knee bruise, and an ACL tear. He just cannot catch a break. And hopefully, when he's back, this year might be the break that he needs. Now, again, don't take him stretching and jogging as he's going to be back very, very soon. He's going to be in this lineup very, very soon. Still expect him to be back around late November, I would say. But regardless, I think it's a good thing to see that he's, stretching with the boys. Coming up, we got 2 more news items to discuss for every single one of you. 2 more things that you need to know from day 2 of OTAs. But before that, if you guys have not already, make sure you guys are subscribed so you do not miss a single thing. Right? If you want nonstop coverage all off season long, this is the place to be. It's really easy to do these videos. September, October, November, December, everybody can do it. But it only takes the real ones, the dedicated ones, to be doing these in the middle of May, to be doing these in June and July. And that's what we'll be doing right here on the Packers Report. So join us today by hitting that free big red sub button. My news item number 4, let's talk a little bit of injury news, okay? Because not only Christian Watson, that's a positive injury news, but there were quite a few people that were rehabbing in a rehab group, right, off to the side, kind of doing their own things. Obviously, you had Christian Watson. Quay Walker, Marshawn Lloyd, not fully back yet. Nesta Jade Silvera. Colin Oliver, the 4th-round selection out of Oklahoma State, 5th-round selection out of Oklahoma State. John Fitzpatrick, Warren Brinson, the undrafted, not undrafted. I was thinking of the Nazir Stackhouse. Warren Brinson, one of the draft picks as well. And then Jeremiah Martin. And something to also note, Savion Williams was working in a red non-contact jersey. Now, he was still out there running routes. He was still out there, doing his thing. And let's be real, it's 7-on-7, 11-on-11. It's OTAs. They're not really giving you much contact anyway. But I will admit that was a little bit surprising to me. I hadn't really heard anything over the last couple of months, weeks, since he's been drafted to assume that conveyed that he's maybe not going to be 100% ready and 100% full go when OTAs start. I hope he is by training camp because he's not. If he's not, I think that might take a little bit off and take a little bit of a step back on his progress. But at least he's healthy enough to be out there doing things just in a red non-contact jersey. Let's keep talking wide receivers with our last news item. Matthew Golden got some reps with the ones today. Weston Hodkowitz? Is that how we think we say that, Lopez? Lopez is shaking his head. He's got no idea. He said Golden getting reps with the ones. That's become more of a thing in the modern day than in the MM years, but still interesting. And look, I think this is something that we all could expect when you use a first-round selection on a wide receiver. This is kind of what you want to happen. Him take some reps with the ones. Now, maybe we didn't expect it on the second day of OTAs. Maybe this was kind of a later in training camp thing, but I think this is great news because, first and foremost, you need that Love and Golden connection to strengthen. And the only way that that is going to strengthen is if they're out there getting reps together. If Matthew Golden's out there catching balls from Jordan Love. Because if they're not out there, they're not throwing passes to each other, they're not getting that work in, that connection's not going to develop as quickly. And you need that to be fully developed by the time that, we come to it in September. When you're playing actual games, when you're actually out there on the field. Make sure you guys give me a follow on Twitter and on Instagram. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8 on Twitter. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8 on Instagram as well. Same tag for both. Also, the links to my Twitter and Instagram will be in the comments and description of today's video. If you guys have not already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. Need every single one of you guys to do your part and join us right here on the Packers Report.